Hello everyone, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Chelsea and today is day 1 of Vlogmas, and today I am doing 10 things that you have to do when you are in Rovaniemi in Finland. For those of you who don't already know, Rovaniemi is in Lapland. It's it's right on the border of the Arctic Circle, which is really cool. So it's a beautiful place to go. It's the home of Santa. It's where every kid will send their letters when they're writing to Santa. And it's one of the most beautiful places that I have ever been, so if you're going this year you are really in for a treat. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm just gonna get straight into the video, and the first thing that you need to do when you're in Rovaniemi is visit the Santa Claus village. So the Santa Claus village is just a short bus ride away from the city centre, so you can take the bus. It's very cheap. I don't remember exactly how much it costs or which bus, but you could definitely just search on Google Maps and it'll tell you which bus to get from the city. And it's free to visit the Santa Claus village, which is really nice. It's a lovely place to just walk around. There is not a statue, there is like a thing that shows you all the different directions of major cities in the world and how far away they are. There is a post office, which I highly recommend going in and having a look around. This post office, you can actually send a letter, you can send a postcard to yourself for next year. So if you write a postcard, put a stamp on it, you can put it in a post box for the next year, and then when Christmas comes around next year, they will post your postcard to you. Or you can post one this year if you want to post it to friends and family, and you can even order a letter from Santa as well. Even if you don't plan to do any of this stuff though, I still recommend having a look around the post office because it is really cool. It's just nice to look at all the postcards, and then they also have like around the corner a little bit that shows all the letters from around the world that they've got to Santa, which is really cool. So it shows you like all the different countries that they receive letters from every year. And I don't know if this is like all the letters that they get that year or if it's just showing you letters that they have from around the world, but I think it's a nice little touch. The next thing that you can do in the Santa Claus village is meet Santa. This does cost, well, it doesn't cost, it's actually free to meet Santa, but if you want to get the pictures then it does cost, and you can't take pictures with your own phone or videos. So if you want the memory then you do have to pay, but you can meet Santa just for the experience for free. You don't have to pay for that. The queue can get quite long. It can be like up to an hour. Sometimes it's not too long, but it can be. But I think it's nice to do because it's literally the hometown of Santa Claus. So I think it's just a nice little thing to do while you're in Rovaniemi, regardless of whether or not you want the pictures, just to be able to say that you met Santa where he lives. I think it is quite expensive to get the pictures. I'm pretty sure the digital version is like 2 pictures and a video, and that was about 50 euros. It might have even gone up in the last 2-3 years. I'm not sure if that's how much it was, but that rings a bell. And then I think if you get it printed out, it's a little bit cheaper because it doesn't include the video, but obviously you only get like 1 copy of the picture and no digital copies. You can also meet Mrs. Claus in the Santa Claus village, and I don't know because I didn't go and visit her, but I assume that you can use your phone to take pictures, but you have to pay to meet her, I think. So again, unless this has changed, I think it was around 5 euros per person to meet her. So apparently you can meet Mrs. Claus, it's 5 euros per person. Next thing that you can do is free, and it's just crossing the Arctic Circle. So just outside in the main little square area of the Santa Claus village, there is a line. So there's like a big post thing that has the temperature on it, which is normally somewhere between -10 to -20 degrees normally. Sometimes it can be a little bit warmer or a little bit colder than that, but that's like the average temperatures in Rovaniemi in December. Yes, so you have the temperature thing, and then you have like a line drawn on the floor where you can jump over it to say that you're like jumping into the Arctic Circle. And then there's also a live camera feed, so you can tell your family to go on the website and watch the live feed, and they can just see you waving from there. It's a cute little idea, I think, and it's free. You can also see reindeer in Santa Claus village as well. They do little reindeer sleigh rides, which you can do, or if you prefer you could just go and have a look at the reindeer. They're really, really cute. Also go and have a coffee at the Loft Cafe, I think it's called. During the day it's the Loft Cafe, and then in the evening it becomes the Loft like bar, like a cocktail bar kind of thing. So they have like 2 different sides of it, and one's a coffee shop and then the other half is for cocktails and drinks in the evening. I went to this Loft Cafe a lot. They're really good drinks. They're just, it's nice to get like a little hot chocolate or a coffee in the morning just to warm up. And then they had a gingerbread, it was either called gingerbread spice or gingerbread sour, something like that, the cocktail. If they have that on the menu, it's delicious and I very highly recommend getting it.
Highly recommend getting the gingerbread spice cocktail. Sour? Gingerbread sour cocktail.
And then you can also just wander around the shops. There's lots of shops in Santa Claus Village, loads of Christmas merchandise, some other random shops as well. And there's lots of Moomin stuff in Finland. And you can find a lot of it in Santa Claus Village as well. So if you like Moomins, or if you have no idea what they are and just think that they're cute like me, then you can get some Moomin merch.
Because when people have joyful and happy thoughts, the magic of Christmas is created. I want to wish everyone in here and everyone around the world relaxing, peaceful and happy Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
Number 2 is to go and visit Snowman World. So Snowman World is actually a whole little place built of snow, and I think it costs about 19 euros. That rings a bell for entry for an adult. I don't know how much a kid is. And of course that might have changed in the last 3 years, but it's going to be somewhere around 20 euros to get into Snowman World. I think if you don't have time, don't bother visiting, but if you have time and you're not rushed at all, then I think it's a nice little place to go. It's just a little bit different. It's a place made of snow, which is really cool, and they've got snow carvings in the walls, so there's loads of pictures to look at all around the whole igloo. It's a very big igloo, but I guess that's kind of what it is. It's really weird to be inside because like there's no echo, so your voice is just like absorbed by the snow, so it sounds very quiet and weird in there.
It's so quiet in here, it's really weird.
But yeah, in Snowman World they have like all the carvings in the wall, they have an ice bar, they have like a little ice skating rink for, I think it's for kids, I can't remember if it's for adults. We didn't do it and I'm not sure why. And then there's like a little like indoor slide made out of ice. There's an outdoor slide where you get in like a tube and you can go tubing down the snow slide, which is really cool. Unfortunately I don't have a video of this because I don't think I took a video of it, and I didn't bring my camera on because I didn't want to break my camera, so I don't have a video of it, but it's quite fun and it's free once you're in Snowman World. You don't have to pay extra, so you can go on the slide as many times as you like. There is also a little maze thing in Snowman World, at least the year that I went there was, and I assume that they would do that every year, and it's not the best maze I've ever been in my life, but it's just a nice little extra thing to do. And then if you're there at like sunrise or sunset, the views are amazing from like outside where the slide is, so you can see like over the trees and it's beautiful. The sun was setting while I was there and it's just stunning. That's actually a little bonus one for you actually, is to just go and watch all the sunrises and sunsets while you're there, because they happen, the sun rises around midday. Well, the actual sun doesn't, it doesn't really come above the horizon during December, but you can see the sunrise, like the colours in the sky is beautiful at around midday, and then it sets again by like 2, I think is dark. And so yeah, you get to see the sunrise and sunset just on a quick little day trip out, and they're really beautiful. Like the colours in the sky are incredible. Number 3 of things to do in Rovaniemi is a reindeer sleigh ride. I feel like this is a very obvious one. Go and see the reindeer, they're so cute. Even if you don't do the sleigh ride, you can just go and try and find some reindeer. They do have wild reindeer there as well. If you go and look around in the forest, or like while you're driving, you might just see a bunch of reindeer on the side of the the road. I don't know, I can't speak for all of the places because obviously I only did it with one company, the company that I was working with. So I wasn't there like as a guest, but I saw how it all worked. And this particular one gave like berry juice, like warm berry juice and gingerbread cookies. So I assume a lot of them do that. I was also able to feed a reindeer. I'm not sure what I fed it. I can't remember. Hay maybe or something. I fed a reindeer something, and yeah, maybe you will be able to feed it or stroke it, or I don't think I stroked it. I can't really remember, to be honest, but you can see the reindeer up close and it's just really cool to get that close to a reindeer. Number 4 is a husky sleigh ride. So in my opinion, the husky ride is better than the reindeer ride, just because it's faster. There's a bit more atmosphere, I feel like, because the dogs are like barking like crazy and then they're all like excited and there's so many of them. I very luckily was planned to work on like the husky ride nearly every single time, so I got to see the huskies a lot. And on this particular excursion you got to see the huskies up close, so like before or after your sleigh ride you could go and like meet the huskies, so you could go and play with them, stroke them, and just yeah, go see them. They're really, really cute. And then again, they did hot berry juice and gingerbread cookies. So again, I don't know if all excursions do that, but I assume that some of them probably would. And I think sometimes somewhere there was like a barbecue. I can't remember if that, I think that was the reindeers, but again, some places might do like a food included option. The huskies are so cute as well, and I prefer the husky one as well because I mean, I don't know if the reindeers don't want to pull the sleigh, but the huskies definitely look like they really do. Like they have to like dig the brake into the floor every time that they're pulled over, and the dogs are just barking like crazy, ready to go. And as soon as they say go, like they are off. And like you just really feel like the dogs actually want to be running around. So yeah, I feel like I prefer the huskies, but both are good options. And then a bonus one actually is snowmobiling. I forgot to put this in my list, but snowmobiling, if you don't want to do anything with animals, if you're scared of animals, or if you're like vegan or something, then snowmobiling is a good option, and it's really fun. I used to love going on the snowmobiles. So you can go on them where you drive, or you can just go in like a sleigh on the back of a snowmobile, so both options are available. So yeah, I think that's another fun option if you don't want to be around animals, or just as an extra. Oh, that's a perfect temperature now. So the next one is to go skiing or snowboarding at Ounasvaara. Ounasvaara is a ski resort, and you can book lessons with instructors if you've never done it before, or you can just get a ski pass. It's not like the biggest ski resort ever, not that I've ever been to another one, but I'm pretty sure it was quite small. Yeah, I don't know, it was just a nice little extra thing to do while you're in Finland. Obviously you don't go to Rovaniemi to learn to ski or snowboard, or for a skiing or snowboarding trip you probably would go somewhere else like Austria or like Bulgaria, Poland, somewhere that has like big ski resorts. It was a good place to learn for me. I had never been snowboarding or skiing before, and so I decided to learn to snowboard there. And then they also have the like Ounasvaara lodge as well, where you can get dinner, and there is a restaurant like specifically for the ski resort, but then there's also like a hotel, and if you go in the hotel it's like really cozy. There's like a fireplace and you can get glogi, so I guess that's another bonus for you. Try glogi while you're in Rovaniemi. It's kind of like a mulled wine. You can get an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic version. The alcoholic version kind of just tastes like a mulled wine, and then the non-alcoholic version is like a spicy berry juice. Not spicy as in like hot spicy, but as in like spiced. Like, I don't know what spices they use, like cinnamon, nutmeg, that kind of thing. And I liked it. I really enjoyed having glogi after snowboarding to warm up by the fire in the lodge. It was just a really nice atmosphere to be in there. When you're getting there, you need to be careful if you're using Google Maps and walking, because it will try and take you along a cross-country ski path, which we accidentally did. Like, none of us had ever been skiing or snowboarding before, so we had no idea what it was, so we didn't know that we weren't supposed to be there. And we were like, well, Google Maps is taking us this way, and like it says that it's a trail, so like we'll walk that way. And then like skiers started coming past and we were like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to be here. So just be careful of that. try and go a different way. There are like ways around where you can avoid it, because we did figure that out. Otherwise you can take the bus, or if you have a car then you can just drive there. Number 6 is to visit Arcticum. So Arcticum is the Arctic Museum, and they have lots of different like exhibitions, like a Northern Lights one, so you can go in and it's like a projection and you just sort of lay down and you can watch the projection on the roof. They have like a stuffed animals bit, which is a bit weird and creepy, but it's cool to see a lot of the animals. And I assume that they didn't kill all the animals for the museum. I assume that they've all died of like natural causes, and the museum has just taken them and stuffed them. I don't know, I find it a bit weird, but it's like cool to see like a moose in real life. Obviously it wasn't a real moose, but they're massive. Like, I did not realize actually how big a moose is. So that was cool to see. They had like a polar bear, which again, like I never comprehended that a polar bear was actually that big. And so yeah, it was pretty cool. They had like a little like ice ball thing that you could put your hand on, and we had a little competition to see who could keep their hand on the longest. I'm so competitive as well, but it's too cold, it's hurting.
Don't worry, there is no prize.
No, I give up. My hand is shaking. They had lots about like the history of Lapland and then like the indigenous culture as well. And yeah, it's just a really good indoor option if you want to get out of the cold for a little bit. And it's not too expensive either. I don't remember the prices, but it wasn't expensive. Number 7 is to have a look around the town square. It's called Lordi Square. So there was like a heavy metal band called Lordi from Rovaniemi, and they won Eurovision in 2006. And so Rovaniemi decided to name like their town square after the band, so it's called Lordi Square, and it's just like the main little square near all the shops and stuff. But they have like Christmas market kind of thing. There's like really not a lot of Christmas markets, so don't get your hopes up, but they do have like a couple of little markets where you can buy like souvenirs and stuff. And then they also have like an ice skating rink, which they like build when it snows. They have like a coffee shop, I think it's called like the Coffee House, and it's actually a chain, which I didn't realize. I thought I found like a really cute little local coffee shop, but I really liked going there just to grab a coffee. They had like a Subway, I think. Again, they had like a little tower that has the temperature on it, so you can see how cold it is. And then they've got like a little shopping centre nearby called the Ravintuli Shopping Centre, which actually means Northern Lights in Finnish, so it's like the Northern Lights Shopping Centre, which is a really cute name. Number 8 is to go for a nice little winter nature walk. So if it snowed a lot, you can rent some of like the snowshoes, like the kind of look like tennis rackets, so that you can walk easily on the snow. And you can just walk through the forest, walk along the river. There's a nice little river there which will freeze over when it gets really cold. Eventually you'll be able to walk on the lake, not the lake, the river, but there might also be a frozen lake around that you can walk on. A bit sooner than when the river freezes over. Yeah, it's really cool to walk on a frozen lake, because it's like normally like the frozen lake would be covered in snow, and so it's not obvious that you're walking on the lake, and then all of a sudden you just have a thought and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm above water right now, like I'm on a lake, I'm walking on a lake. And it's just a bit of a weird thought to have, but it's really cool to walk on it. Obviously make sure that it's safe, make sure that like there's other people that know what they're doing and that are walking on it, and not just like random tourists that have no idea, because it does need to be a certain thickness to walk on safely. A lot of the lakes will freeze over and you can walk on them, and it's just really cool and weird. I am so sorry for the random change of scenery and dressing gown, but I realized that when I filmed this I completely skipped number 9, which is find the Northern Lights. So to find the Northern Lights you'll probably have to go a little way out of Rovaniemi, or like just to a darker part of the city, because when you're with all the lights you're not going to see anything. The Northern Lights do come quite regularly in Rovaniemi, but also like it can be cloudy during December, so don't get your hopes up too much. But if you want to increase your chance of being able to see them, booking a Northern Lights tour is a good idea, because then they'll take you out of the city and far away and like to places where it's less cloudy, so you have a higher chance of seeing them. But you don't have to book a Northern Lights tour to see them. If you want to do it for free, then you definitely can see them for free. If you hire a car, you can drive yourself there, maybe just bring like some flasks with hot drinks or something in it. If you do the tours, then they tend to come with like hot drinks and barbecue, like food and everything included. But of course, like you could pay a lot of money and not see the Northern Lights, so it is risky, but also you probably are more likely to see them with a tour, so you've kind of got to weigh it up. If it's like a once in a lifetime thing for you, then it's probably worth paying for. But if you think that you're going to be back in like a year or two, then maybe just like try your chances, and if you don't see them, then see them next time. But yeah, Northern Lights, I was very lucky and I got to see them once. I don't fully count it because they were so weak. Like I was very unlucky considering that I lived there for 6 weeks and I only saw them once, and very faintly. So yeah, I was very, very unlucky, but I'm still grateful for what I did get to see of them. I just won't take it off my bucket list until I have seen them a little bit stronger. But yeah, I definitely recommend like at nighttime, typically quite late at night, like 12, 2 a.m, going outside and having a look for them. Obviously because I was working, I did not go out that late very much, which is another reason, as well as the city lights, that I didn't get to see them and the cloudiness, or I didn't get to see them until like one of my last days and they were weak. It's just another thing to definitely try and see while you're there. And then number 10 is to go to the Ranua Wildlife Park. I think I pronounced that right. I actually have no idea. I unfortunately did not get to go there because it is about an hour away from Rovaniemi. So if you have a car, then you should be able to go. But if you don't, then you probably won't be able to. I was gonna hire a car and go with some friends, but we either didn't have time or like no one else wanted to go with me. But if you want to go and see some like Arctic wildlife, then that's the place to do it. You can go see like polar bears, Arctic foxes, owls, things like that. So it sounds really cool and I wish I had been able to go. So yeah, maybe check out the wildlife park. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are going to Lapland this year, I hope you have the most amazing time. I am very jealous. I wish that I could go back. It's honestly one of the most beautiful places that I have ever been. Rovaniemi is the reason that I am now a winter person. I mean, of course, I still love the summer and I love my tropical destinations still, but if it wasn't for Rovaniemi, I would probably still hate winter, but I actually really like it now, and I loved snowboarding, and it just introduced me to a whole other part of my life. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you in planning your trip. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and if it helped you, and subscribe to see more videos. I will see you next time. Bye!